Really nice to see. Here's a few people who joined SomeJam 2014 last year, and I'm also really happy to see new people over here. We are still missing some persons. We are waiting for maybe 10 or 15 members to join our SomeJam 2015. My name is Marcus. I'm the guy who has been sending email to you quite many times. Sorry about that. I will tell more about details, about practical information a little bit later, but we will start the SomeJam 2015 by a speech. I hope it will be, or I know it will be really awesome, by Tommi Laitio. He's the Director of Youth Affairs here in Helsinki, and after that the project manager Suvi Tuominen, she's the project manager of Verge, the organization that's arranging this event. She will talk a little bit, and also Hanna and Jani will have a few words with you. And after that practical information, then we will have a little bit time to do some exercises and let know each other. And after that, the jamming begins. Have fun, enjoy your time, talk with new stranger or talk with strangers, make new friends, have a nice weekend. But at this moment I won't talk anymore. I will give the microphone to Tommi.
Good evening. Hi. So my name is Tommi Laitio. I'm responsible for youth work here in Helsinki. It's nice to see you all here. I was asked to spend something like 15 minutes talking about what youth work is about. Some of you are in the field, most I think aren't. To kind of explain it, when it says for dummies, I don't mean that you're dummies. I mean I mean to make it simple. So I'll go through a couple of issues, and then I don't know what the schedule is, but if there are questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. But the kind of starting from what we work with when we talk about youth work here in Helsinki, and I think in general all over the world, we talk about being young and working with people who are young. And that kind of sounds obvious, but the idea is that we try to ease out the phase in life that's usually pretty difficult. I don't know how many of you have seen a film called Boyhood? Only 3 people. It's this film by Richard Linklater. It's an American film where he made it over 12 years. He follows this one boy growing up, and it's amazing. It's like, if you want to understand what youth work is about and why youth work is needed, you should watch that film. In 2 hours you understand everything about what we do. It's about, because I mean, being young, most of you and most of us know this because we've sometimes been young, that being young is about 2 things. You're kind of trying to define yourself based on what differentiates you from other people and what combines you to other people. Like what do you share with other people and what makes you special? And this kind of balancing act is not usually very easy for people. It's called adolescence, what makes it difficult. And it doesn't mean that it's overbearing, and it shouldn't be overbearing. Youth work is needed because we're not trying to take all the struggle out that has to do with adolescence, but the idea around youth work is that we try to ease it for those to whom it's overbearing and to make it enjoyable. Often youth work is seen as a kind of that when we work with young people, we invest in the future, that we invest in future citizens and future workers and so forth. I don't see that approach as being very, very valuable. It gets you money, but it's not a good motivation to work with people. The idea is to work on youth itself, and that being young itself would be an exciting time in one's life. being young, as in being a person, is about having relationships with other people. So very few of us can actually be happy just by isolating ourselves from other people. So what we do is we try to improve the relationships in people's lives. I think social media and other services only become valuable when they improve or strengthen people's relationships to other people. I think kind of that's the idea of it. That should be the idea behind any public service, any commercial service, any social media application. That it becomes valuable if it connects people to other people, or it strengthens the existing relationships between people. This kind of classification is from Nokia, from the time they were still a successful company. The idea that people have different sorts of relationships. Nokia did this to understand how technology improves or makes certain relationships more difficult, and I think it's a very good kind of classification on how people relate to other people. First of all, you have the relationship to yourself, and kind of understanding who you are, how you see when you look in the mirror. Then you have certain lifelong relationships. Most of your family, most of your relatives, who are going to be in your life, whatever, to a certain extent, to whatever you do or say. The idea is that your parents are supposed to, or your sisters and brothers are supposed to stay in your life. Then you have friends. Friends are very crucial for trying new things. This was kind of one of the main discoveries by Nokia. The idea that if you want to introduce new technology, new services to people's lives, you need to. Friends are the crucial part in that. Most of us understand this from our own life. That with friends we go and try new things. It's kind of dangerous or scary for most of us to try new things without having a friend along. Then we have certain goal-oriented relationships. The people we go to school with, you actually have a goal-oriented relationship now. It might, in a way, develop into a friendship, but the fact that you are here, the thing that brings you together, is that you have a shared goal over this weekend. And an educational group is like that, a working environment is like that. And then we have random relationships. The idea that people who are in the same bus with us, people who use the same cafe with us, and they either make us feel safer or they make us feel scared. And the idea that what we have in youth work is that we put most of the focus on these two things. So we focus on improving and creating friendships, and then we create goal-oriented communities, and we support goal-oriented communities. It might be a group that meets here. It might be that we have a gaming unit here in the building, and it's for people who are interested in gaming, and they can actually find a community. So one of the things that I want to really emphasize, the idea that any service, whether it's a social media application or whether it's a physical service or even when it strengthens relationships to other people. If you look at law and why youth work is needed, we have two kind of, I would say it's kind of a schizophrenic profession we're in. That at the same time we're supposed to integrate people into society. The idea is that that's the parliament on the top, and then you have people, groups of people here down. So our idea is that we teach these radical young people. We teach them how you should behave in the society through education, through employment, so forth. The idea is that you integrate into the society and you take your responsibility. But the other side of youth work is the emancipation aspect, that how people change the system. And I think we're pretty good traditionally in youth work in helping people to use the services that exist at the moment, or we're good in developing people's kind of emotional skills, giving them something to do during their evenings. But I think it would be really interesting to see what kind of applications could be developed for the emancipation side, how people could change the society, how people could find communities that would encourage them to take a political role and push forward the change that they want to see in the society. So that's maybe one of the things that I want to throw to you. The idea is that how could there be a political or cultural kind of a incentive for people to change the society. I kind of mentioned this issue already about youth work, that we work with groups. It's not economically or socially kind of sustainable that every young person would have their own youth worker who would kind of go with them through their adolescence. So the idea is that we work with groups, that we bring together people who are interested in the same issues, or we help a group that already exists. So I think valuable things for young people and for youth work come from these two things. It helps people to find communities of interest, or it helps existing communities to take an initiative and take action. So most of the youth workers, are any of you youth workers here? Some, yeah. At least the way I understand the profession and the competence is about working with groups and understanding how group behavior works. Then the issue we work with is we put a lot of effort into what happens outside school. So we are kind of youth work. In youth work, we're professionals of free time. Everything we do is voluntary. So that differentiates youth work from social work and education. That people have the right to choose whether they join or not. So things have to be attractive in that sense, that people want to take action, want to join in. Here we have a goal that every young person should have at least one hobby. It's not our job to tell them what the hobby should be. It can be a Christian organization, or sailing, or occupying empty buildings. The idea is that everyone should have a community that drives you forward, where you learn new things, and especially when we talk about teenagers, where you can work with where you can, in a way, build relationship with adults you can trust. Most teenagers, especially the ones in greater need, who maybe come from homes that are not that stable, need another adult, need an adult that you can trust. So that's also one of the things that maybe I think social media or technology as a whole could help in. There are tons of people out there who are interested in helping young people. I haven't met a person who wouldn't want to work with young people, who wouldn't want to help young people. Most adults find teenagers extremely scary, but they still want to help them. So what kind of tools could you create in terms of helping people who might have skills that would benefit young people? How you could bring these groups together? And then the one of the main kind of the core ideas in youth work is that we work mostly very locally. So how we're constantly struggling on how we could get young people's feedback on what works and what doesn't work in their neighborhood, and how getting more data on how young people use Helsinki, how they feel about the neighborhood, what places are scary and what feels safe to them. If we would get that sort of data in a way that people would find attractive, we would have a better chance to change the society and change the city in the sense that young people would find it attractive and fun. One of the main things in youth work, I think the kind of the guiding principle that's my drawing of Legos. The idea is that we always start from strengths. That's maybe one of the things that differentiates youth work from social work or medicine. Our job is not to do a diagnosis on young people. We start on how they define themselves and what keeps them going. Even if a young person would be in a very difficult situation, they still have something that keeps them up. And our job is to find that and help them build around that, build new things around that, rather than saying, you're a depressed young person, so we're dealing with your depression first, and then we can look at your free time. There's a dramatic difference here to many other professions. The idea is that people have the right to choose, people have the right to define who they are, and this goes especially with cultural and ethnic minorities. That our job is not to say that because you're a Somalian young person, we know that your issues are these, and we're going to help you in these, whether you want it or not. That's not our job. Our job is to find the things that people are passionate about and start building new things and new learning around that. So that's basically what youth work is about. I think I used my time, sort of. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer, but I hope this shed some light on why you're here and kind of what's the field we work with. Thanks.
Okay, so my name is Suvi Tuominen and I work for Verke, which is the organizing organization. And I will give you a brief overview about Finnish online youth work, what's the path been like from the early 2000s to here, and what we see as the purpose of SomeJam, why we want to arrange this event. So, no, it wasn't on presentation mode. Okay, sorry. Yeah, there we go. So, first of all, our organization's mission is that online media should be used in all youth work. We see that online youth work is not like a sub-branch of youth work, but it should and could be included in all youth work. It can be cultural youth work, open youth work, mobile youth work, but online media should be a part of it, because digital media or online media is a significant part of young people's lives. So anyone who is working with young people should respect and know about the importance of online media in young people's world. And it's not a new thing. Online youth work has existed from the early 2000s, and it can take many different forms. So it can be, for example, question and answer services maintained by youth work services. It can be, for example, vlogging workshops arranged in youth work. It can be games broadcasting on Twitch, for example, or group blogs where young people are blogging together, and the youth worker is giving guidance to blogging, and or it can be one-to-one chats in chat rooms. These are just a few examples of what online youth work can be. And now we move to the history part. So in the early 2000s, some NGOs started working in social networking sites. At that time, 15 years ago, there were mainly these two social networking sites that were popular in Finland. One was Habbo, and the other one was IRC Gallery, which was a Finnish site. And this is a picture of one of the very first online youth work services that were around. This was drug prevention NGO that had their mobile bus. They actually have a mobile bus driving around, but they made a virtual version of this bus in Habbo. And they had sessions with where the youth worker is chatting with young people in the bus. If I remember correctly, one discussion lasted for 15 or 20 minutes, and after that was over, then the new young people came in the bus, and then the conversation started again. So that was one of the first examples of online youth work. In 2005, Netari was founded here at the city of Helsinki. It was youth work service. At the beginning, it was only in the capital area of Finland, but soon it grew, and at its best, it had over 30 municipalities taking part of it. So youth workers from over 30 municipalities chatted with young people online. Or it was not only chatting, it was also, for example, TV broadcasting. As you can see, they had an online TV channel as one of their online youth work methods. They also used IRC Gallery and Habbo, and also Facebook and many other services as well. So that was one example of the early online youth work services. In 2007, Netari grew, and they also included social workers and policemen in the service. So it was not only youth workers that were answering the questions, but also policemen and social workers. And at that time, also a virtual policeman who is very, very famous now and running for the Finnish Parliament, he also began his work in 2007. In the early 90s, we can say that was the era of Facebook. Facebook grew very rapidly, and many youth workers found that Facebook was the best channel to reach young people. There were many ways that they were doing that. Many had their own personal profiles on Facebook, and young people could approach them private chats or group chats or anything like that. And then, as you can see here, this one uses Facebook for advertising some events that they have locally in their youth house or at their region. So Facebook can be used for many different purposes. But as you know, young people don't use Facebook as much as they used to. So online youth work has to think of new ways to use online media. The next milestone is a very important one. Verke was founded in 2011. We were founded by the Ministry of Education and Culture, and the reason for Verke's founding was that there were many online youth work services being developed at the same time in NGOs, in municipalities and in parishes, but they didn't know about each other. So everyone was kind of reinventing the wheel at their own organization, and Verke was founded to build bridges between these organizations, so they could benefit from each other's expertise. Well, last year we saw the rise of mobile apps and services in online youth work. At the moment, there are many apps being developed specifically for youth work, but mainly the mobile apps that are being used are, for example, Instagram. Many youth work organizations use it for marketing their own events or making visible their face-to-face events. Like here you can see, well, I think here's no picture from their events actually, but they can show that what kind of youth work they do on face-to-face events, and they can get new visitors that way. And for example, WhatsApp, Gig Messenger, are being used in youth work. I don't know if anyone uses Snapchat yet in youth work. It could be one possibility because many young people are using Snapchat. So that's where I think the online youth work is going to be more and more on the mobile phone in the future. So that was the brief history part of online youth work. Some examples, not the whole history. There are many examples that I didn't talk about. And then next few words about Verke. What do we do in practice to make it our mission to be true? Our main actions can be divided to these 4 categories. We train and consult youth workers. For example, last year we trained over 1,000 youth workers to use social media. Our training topics vary from practical guidance on how to use Instagram, like hands-on training, what do you press to use Instagram, from developing a social media strategy for youth work organization. Then we produce materials, hands-on guidebooks. Last year we produced one about gaming and one about blogging, how digital games and how blogs could be used in youth work. And then we are building bridges between organizations. We encourage a discussion on our website and on Facebook so that organizations should share their good practices. And we also arrange events. For example, in May we have a big event, 2-day event which focuses on sharing good practices in different organizations. And then this leads to why we are here now. We want to innovate new solutions or encourage organizations to innovate new solutions to youth work. Youth workers, maybe they are the experts on young people's lives and youth work, but they may not have the necessary skills to include technology to youth work. So that's what we are trying to do here today. So we think that new solutions for youth work are needed. Where should the online youth work history go next? What should be the next step? And we think that these kind of events like SomeJam can bring together specialists from different branches. And we are very happy to see that there's a quite wide variety of expertise in this room right now. So I really think that we can, or you can, make really good practices happen this weekend. Yeah, thank you.
Oh my God. Hello. Hi guys. My name is Jani Turunen. I'm from Design Stuff Limited. I'm here to tell you a little bit about rapid prototyping and startup methods and processes and tools and stuff that I use in my sort of everyday job. Who am I? Well, I consider myself being sort of kind of a digital janitor, if you like. I do all kinds of stuff, but mainly I prototype, I design, I code, I try to solve the problems that my clients or people that I perceive my clients to be have. I've been doing stuff with computers for a very long time, and I've been lucky enough to sort of convert that computer knowledge to working in social innovation in the past few years. I was here last year. Who actually was here last year? Awesome. So just kind of want to say a few words about what we're going to be doing this weekend, and I'm kind of hoping that you'll have questions because I wrote this presentation in about 6.5 minutes when sitting at the back. So, oh, right, I'm standing in the middle. Sorry. Right. Yeah. Well, what the point of the weekend is? Ooh, IT is breaking down. Right. Right. Well, the aim is to solve a problem through innovation and using service design tools. Well, what does that mean? Okay. Well, we design and build a prototype over the weekend, and we present some solutions and communicating it as clearly as possible. And even if you don't quite finish up building the prototype, these sort of hackathons, they often have this sort of a goal that people don't sleep and they program and they design a lot. They drink way too much of Coca-Cola, and by Sunday everybody's kind of well, that can be fun and it can be effective, but the point is not to have something perfect by Sunday. The point is to sort of use your brain to try to solve the problem and communicate your solution, and communicating the solution may involve some software. Right, so how do we do it? We split into teams. We look at the problem, or basically the team comes up with the problem. There may be multiple problems, then the team discusses what is the problem that they want to attack. The teams, they come up with solutions. If we had more time, it might be fruitful to come up with multiple solutions, then explore the solutions further, and then hopefully focus down on the sort of best one. We may not have that sort of luxury at our hands. But basically the idea is to come up with a solution and verify the solution with real users. So what does that mean? I think this is my 4th or 5th this kind of an event, a sort of social innovation event. What usually happens is that the team comes up with a solution, they do some coding or they do some development or whatever, then they actually exit the building, they go and find the people that they perceive might be the users and they show it to them. What does this look like? Would you ever use this? Is it useful, or are we just wasting our time? It's really handy finding out about whether you're wasting your time as early as possible, so you can, what in sort of startup lingo we call pivot. So you basically put it in the bin and or hopefully not everything, you basically change your product or solution. Then we prototype one of these solutions. We take the prototype to real users, and then by Sunday we present the solution to others. Now, I'd like to kind of emphasize that presentation is quite important. In many events, the actual solution hasn't been very good, but the presentation was awesome. That's great. People understand what you're talking about. In some events, or some groups, they've had an awesome solution, but nobody could kind of understand what it means, except maybe some of the mentors, because they spent considerable time with the team. So communication and presentation is quite important. What should we not do? Well, we should not concentrate too much on technology. And I'm a nerd, and it hurts me to say this, but it's a little bit pointless spending a lot of time coding something that doesn't actually solve the problem. So design is the main thing. Design is where the value is, and then comes the technology. And I think here in Finland we have quite a big proof about this called Nokia. Right. We should also not concentrate too much on getting it perfect. We only have like 2.5 days. 48 hours. It's going to be fairly impossible to get it perfect. And he has this famous quote by Reid Hoffman, founder of LinkedIn. If you're not embarrassed by the first version of your product, you've launched it too late. So it's better to launch or sort of take your product or your solution to the users earlier than later. Is this a competition? Well, no, not really. We do have a small prize for the most successful team, but it's not a competition. The main point here is basically to spend a weekend together with awesome people, getting to know new people, learning about design, hopefully designing a solution to a problem, and learning about how to communicate that solution to other people. That's the main point. If you can walk away from here on Sunday and having hopefully maybe a couple of new friends and some new tools and some new knowledge about how this sort of stuff is done, I think that'd be awesome. Yes, well, it's not a competition, but what is the criteria? We kind of want to sort of put this out there in the very beginning, so that there's no vagueness about this. The criteria of judging what is the most successful team is, well, clarity of problem team is trying to solve. Number 2, identification of stakeholders. What? The people. The people. We are doing something for the people, so you need to understand who the people are. So if you end up designing some kind of a social media tool for handicapped young people, you have to identify the handicapped young people and maybe, well, what we use in service design quite often is that we write persona cards of the users, but I think Hanna is going to be talking a little bit more about these personas. And basically identify who the people are who will be using your solution. What is the solution? What is the social value of the solution? And sort of 5th point is that if you invent something that makes it possible for people to travel to Mars, and it has nothing to do with youth or social work, I think you'll score some points. Right, some advice perhaps hopefully on sort of how to fulfill the criteria, sort of how to approach the criteria. Well, draw right user persona. So quite often, well, for example, I was designing this startup last year that sells agricultural produce over internet. There's somebody selling the stuff. That's one persona. I basically wrote a persona card about this guy who owns a farm in France, and he's got all this wheat, and he's trying to get rid of it. So basically write that down, put it on the wall. Then I got this other guy here in Finland who wants to buy all this wheat, and oh God, I can't find wheat. So where could I get it? Well, at this website. So that's the persona stuff. Build paper prototype. So instead of spending lots of time coding, it's actually really, really good to draw, use scissors, glue, pens and paper to sort of come up with something that you can actually touch. It can be quite revealing when you use your paper prototype. Yes, please?
Do you use paper prototypes on your own work?
Yes.
Like scissors and glue?
Yes. Oh, well, not anymore. A couple of years ago, yeah. A couple of years ago still, yes. Yes. In co-design, especially, it's really useful in co-design. Why? Sorry? Okay. Well, you can't use that with people who don't understand what it is. So when you're sitting down, let's say that you're designing something for people who are not technical. You want to get them, sitting down with you. You talk, you draw. They don't know anything about technology, so sort of a mutual playing field. Anyway, well, I think it's really useful to take the prototype to the people, show it to somebody, get feedback. Then also is what I already mentioned. What's important is the pitch, quality of presentation, and then last but not least, working prototype. That's the actual coding, nerdy stuff. I'm beginning to sound like a bit of a broken record here, but this is what I use in my work. It's a five-phase approach to building stuff, and it's a little bit boring because you can't start with technology. I'd love to, but I did that for 10 years and ended up coding again and again and again, and it's a little bit boring. So instead, first, understand the problem. 2, design a solution to the problem. 3, design the user interfaces to the solution. And then 4, you start coding. 5, you come together with everybody, all the stakeholders, and then polish the solution. And then you launch, and then you go back to, it was supposed to be a little bit more basic, so 10, 20, 30. Anyway, then you go back to number 1 and refine again and again. That's part of the lean startup method. I don't know if I should mention too much about lean startup. It may or may not be familiar to people here, but the point about a lean startup is that you attack a problem, and if you read more about lean startup, it's gonna sound awfully familiar what I already mentioned. But the point here is to try to come up with something really, really quickly and then validate the idea with other people. That's kind of everything that I had. Any more questions? Anyone? Yeah.
Thanks. You use the word problem in the slides. Is it the same as a need?
It can be.
Yeah.
I can briefly explain one team's problem. I've taken part in a couple of these events in Kosovo, of all countries. And in Kosovo, there's this wonderful group of young people trying to solve social problems of Kosovo. And one group had identified that, okay, there's this problem of hunger amongst homeless people. And people are hungry. Yet there are restaurants throwing away food, so they, even before coming to the event, they had identified, okay, hunger, excess food, so they spent the weekend designing a solution to sort of connect the food with the hungry people. Anybody else? Maybe I'll just mention one. It's actually the same group in Kosovo. I think it's sort of goes kind of to explain my aversion to technology in these events. The problem and the solutions that this team had was fantastic. Okay, there are restaurants throwing away food. There are people who are hungry. How do we connect these two? So these guys came to the event and they started coding immediately. They had, okay, we need a website, we need an Android app, and the Android app needs to have Facebook login so that the restaurateur can log in, and then they can take photos of all the dishes that are going to the bin, and then the app would connect to the website and it would SMS some volunteer people who would then come and pick up the suitable dishes and take it to the hungry. And they had the most fantastic problem and solution in the beginning, but they didn't succeed during the weekend because of technology. Somebody asked the question that, okay, well, let's assume that it's 1971, there's no internet. How do you solve this problem? You call the restaurant, you come and pick up the food, you take it to the hungry. End of story. So Android app not needed, website not needed, coding not needed. So that would have been, in my opinion, I think that would have been enough to win the prize during that weekend. Anyway, if there's no other questions, I'll hand over to Hanna. All right.
Yes, I'm a nerd. I'm bad with technology still. Help. No nyt se tuli. Oh boy. Oh, hello everyone. I'm Hanna. I'm from the Department of Computer Science. And I've been having this course, SomeJam, for 2 years now. And I think there should be somewhat 20 of our students who are programmers here. Can you please raise your hands who you are? Even I. Oh, cool. Oh my God, it really seems that in every single team there's at least 2 or 3 or maybe 4 programmers. Pretty awesome. Our people are good at what they do. We are nerds. Most of us are really proud of it. I am. I'm a researcher. I'm a doctoral student. I like new product development. I study crowdsourcing, how to make people move, how to make people do things in masses, how to make people make a better world. Open source. I'm in the software systems engineering group. Means that I'm a software engineer. I did my master's thesis on why is it so hard to talk about software. The topic is really relevant to all of us. Why it is. Software is intangible. It has many aspects. Depends on how you talk about it and who you talk it with. There's always different viewpoints. This is, if you can see it, a lot of people are doing this. Can you see the text? This is what happens in software projects many times. Somebody comes into the room and says, I want to have a software, I want this app. And this is how he describes it in the eyes of the one who is listening to it, maybe the project manager. This is how he understood it. This is how the software development team implemented it, and this is actually what the customer needed, what he wanted, something really simple. And this is a very common situation in whatever technological, whatever online we do. I'm going to give you a couple of tools you can use. I don't mean you have to use, but this might come handy. You're not going to be having to use them in this order that I present them, but you can go back to this presentation later on. It's on Slack. So when you come up with a product idea, talk about it. That's the most important thing. Use a metaphor. Call somebody. Ask, would you need portable silence? What would it be? Like noise, headphones or something. Would you need a path to home from here app? Or would you need a mind control wristlet that gave you shocks every time you didn't do what you were supposed to do? If you call a friend and ask him that, he will say, oh yeah, that's a great idea, I'd use it. I'd give it as a Christmas present. But really he wouldn't. So approach people that you don't know. Ask somebody who you know is honest, or who doesn't really care what you think. It really depends whether you call your mother. Use the Slack. Let's talk about the ideas there as well. Test your metaphor. You can call your mom or relatives, but as I said, that's not probably the best thing to do. Use your social media channels. Great to post online on Facebook. Hey, I'm in SomeJam. This is my idea. Would you use it? 15 people will come and comment on it, hopefully. So let's talk about people and the personas. Here's one tool you can use on the A0 big paper flap. Start with people, put their face in there, have a name, and describe them. Who are they? Do they have a cat or dog? Where do they live? What is their typical day like? And what are really their goals in life? And why do they do what they do? This persona template, you can use this one or any you'd like, but the most important thing is that you describe why, who the person is, what is he or she like. Here's another technique. It's called impact mapping. it helps you prioritize features or prioritize people. That's the stakeholders, the people who use the service. You can talk about them in a meaningful way when using this. Like, why are we doing this? Who are we doing it to? How are we going to be serving these people? And what is actually the thing that we are doing? So these usually are the software features. And you can rule them out. Okay, this Facebook share to a friend thing isn't that important. I'll rule it out. So in case you figure awesome product idea, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the what the fuck factor, the wow effect here in everything you do. Just think big. If I would have come up with an idea that people would need these sleep blinders, what are they called, that sense your brain waves, make music out of it, and it would be a useful idea to this system to post to Facebook or post to a social media service, so that you could connect with like-minded people with same kind of dreams. Okay, that's a wild idea, but how would it work? Here's a sequence diagram. It's very familiar to the software developers. You have the people there, you have their actions. Okay, this is me and my friend. What do we do? Then we have this system somewhere, black box. What happens when we use this system? So that's a handy tool. Use it. So there's the paper prototypes. Usually when people are starting to make software, they draw the interface, they draw the buttons and everything. This is not really the last thing to do, but it can be really powerful in illustrating what's up. Okay, music isn't going too loud, but well, this is a very good paper prototype. It's about a game. I think the language is Thai, but if you make a video like that, this is a decent prototype. Okay, I'll put it away so I can continue talking. And then I'll get lost in my presentation. So with paper prototypes, use your mobile phone, take pictures, make animations, do whatever you feel like, be creative. So a prototype can be a lot of things. It's a piece of discussion. It can be anything that helps you to talk about your idea with somebody. So use them. Presentation is available. Use your social media channels. That's my advice. And keep it simple. In every step, do something that is meaningful. Like, okay, if you look at this picture, you might start building a car, you might start building a castle from scratch, and yet the rest of your team would be waiting like, oh, this big thing to be ready, and the whole weekend would be wasted. Kind of some people waiting and some people coding. Don't do that. Do simple things, small steps at the time, and think about what is the most important thing. So talk, sketch, test, draw, and be a little silly. This is Isabel Olson, who went to a job interview to Google. She had a scuba diving mask with duct tape and some electronics on it, and she got a job. She invented the Google glasses. So be bold, be brave, be silly, have fun, because I think technology is awesome, and we're going to be having a good time. Okay, thanks. What's next?
Before we start jamming and coding and having all the fun stuff, some practical information. One important thing is that keep your name patches with you all the time. we will close the front door tonight, sometime at the evening, and the door will be closed all the time. So if you are going out or coming in, use the doorbell, or we will put a phone number to the door so you can call and somebody will let you in. But you have to have your name badge, so whoever is at the reception will know that you are part of SomeJam group. And one more really important thing: if you hear the fire alarm, let's hope that nothing happens, but today is Friday the 13th, so anything is possible. But if you hear the fire alarm, so go out and go that way. At the corner of the street, there's a shop that's selling some boat things. So go to the boat shop in front of the boat shop. That's the meeting place. But I think this is the most important thing during this weekend. We will be eating a lot, and you will find a kitchen over there. There's a self-service. There's quite much food, so please open the fridge, eat whatever you want, whatever you find. There's few things that you can't eat, or otherwise somebody will be angry who's working in this building, but we have sealed those compartments. And we will be serving you today those wraps, salads, there's bread, all kinds of food. And tomorrow and Sunday we will be ordering pizza, kebab or falafel. So if you want some of those foods, please go to Slack and make your orders. Orders for tomorrow's food should be made before 10 o'clock today. And tomorrow's food will be served around 2:30. And same thing, tomorrow before noon, make the order for Sunday's food in Slack, and Sunday food will be served at 1 o'clock. And anytime, if you need any help, please ask. We are here to help you. There's plenty of staff from Verke, from the youth department, and also our mentors. I will talk about those guys and girls a little bit later, but we are here to help you. This is the slide about mentors. We have right now Jarno over there. And Jani and Hanna you already saw. And then tonight, I don't know when, but soon, Vesa should join us. And probably on tomorrow and Sunday, Jani will also join us. So we will have quite many really top mentors to help you. And if you need help, you can always come and talk with us, or you can ask help in Slack. There's one support channel where you can chat and ask that, can somebody help in the chat, or can somebody come to the room or the place where you are working. And also one thing about the mentors, they are here to help you, but they are here also to give good advices, and one place where we will get good advices is tomorrow, Saturday at 4 o'clock. Each of the groups will make 90 seconds sales speech or pitch to the mentors, and they will give you feedback about your pitch, about your idea, about your group. So prepare for that also. But basically, mentors are really nice. Only that's the one situation where they can be a little bit mean. More information, we have the whole building for us. This is the first floor. You can use all the rooms that you find over here. And when you walk stairs up to the second floor, there's computer house. And there's about 40 computers that you can use if you need, or play some games during the weekend if you don't have energy to code or do the designing thing. And also fourth floor, there's group rooms and places, sofas, and where you can sit and do your work. There's internet, wireless, and internet with wire, There's MoonStudy and StudyNet. Those are the wireless networks. They don't need any password. You can use it. And if you need a little bit better internet, so contact us. So we will show the places where you can plug your computer to the wall. How many of you have already registered to Slack? Is everybody? Almost. You who haven't registered to Slack, please check your junk mail. I sent yesterday evening an invitation to SomeJam Slack, and we will be using Slack as our intranet chat room, and there's 4 channels right now. General, where we can talk about various subjects regarding this event, coding, designing, all those kinds of things. Then we have random. That's the place to post those funny cat pictures and memes and jokes and all the funny things. And then there's support. All of our mentors are there, so if you need any help, go to the support channel and ask for help. And also we have presentations and information. Jani and Hanna, I think they just uploaded their presentations to that channel. You will find those slides over there. And also there's some announcements. For example, I just wrote about the pizza kebab falafel thing, so you will find the link to the order form over there. And also during this weekend, today or tomorrow morning, when you have your own groups that you are working with, so first thing is that your group has to have a name. Make up some really funny, really good name for your group, and make one channel with the name of your group to Slack, one public channel. So and post information, what you are doing. You can ask help, or you can ask your friends' opinions in that channel. And also the mentors, they will be reading those channels and giving advices you online. Yeah, that's Slack. So please go and register if you haven't done that yet. Timetable. We don't have so many times that you have to do something. Today we are spending the evening together, and after that the groups will start doing their work. And tomorrow we have 2 deadlines. 1 o'clock tomorrow, everybody has to make or write something about your group work to your Slack channel. And 4 o'clock we'll start with pitching. And those pitchings tomorrow, when you are demonstrating your work to the mentors, the pitch can last only 90 seconds, 1.5 minutes. So that's quite might be difficult, so prepare for that also. And second important timetable is on Sunday. Sunday will start at 4 o'clock. And start the actual presentation of the works to whole group. So that's the timetable. You can enter and leave the building whenever you want. There's staff all whole night here, and you can go to the kitchen and make coffee, or if there isn't any coffee, make coffee or sandwiches or anything. So please use the house as it would be your home. Yeah, that's the practical information. Do you have any questions? No. Okay. Now I think it's time to let know each other and do some group exercises. And there's about 30 of you who's going to jam the weekend. So I think we could make 5 groups. These groups that we make now are random groups. You are not supposed to work with these groups whole weekend. You can do it if you want, but these groups are just for fun for tonight. And I think the easiest way to make 5 groups is to count to 5. And let's start from there. Number 1, number 2.
3, 4, 5. 1,
blue shirt, you can be one. Yeah. You have one, two, and three. Yeah, four. Yeah. Five. One. Yeah. And Fargo. Two. Okay, did everybody have? You are. Okay, four. Okay. Did everybody have a chance to say a number? Yes, I think so. Okay, the first task is to, I'll explain the rules first. Next task is that you will find your group. Number ones go to one place, twos to one place, and what you should do in your group. Each of the groups will get a plastic mug full of some weird electrical stuff, and your mission is to make a robot that moves and has some kind of special skill. And you have around 10 minutes to make this robot that has special skills, and after that you will present your robot to the rest of the group, and at the same time you will also tell your name and where are you coming from and what are you, or why are you here, why did you come to SomeJam. So in groups you have around 10 minutes time to make the robot, learn each other's names, and after that we will come back here and everybody will present, all the group will present their robots and tell the group members' names. So that's the first task. Yeah, here's the rules. Whoops. Something weird happened. Okay, number one. Who was number one? Okay, you can go over there where Heikki is. Number two. Number two, go to Heikki. Number three. Number four. Number five. And if you want, you can use paper or tape or anything else also, not only those things that are in the mug. Oliko tämä koko ajan tämä kuva tämmöinen? Okei. 4 minutes. One minute. Time to finish your robot.
Sano Juhani, kun kamerat on valmiina, niin aloitellaan.
Okay, time's up. And please, people, gather around this area. We don't go back anymore back to the uncomfortable seats. Let's stand here for a little while and let's start with group number 5. Please, group number 5, come over here. There. Group number 5. And also rest of the groups, please come here and see the presentations. Let's wait for the group number 1. Let's wait a few minutes. And if you are really if you have really good I cannot speak. If you have time, or we have few seconds time, so please make a name also for your robot. Is everybody standing so that you can see the robots? Please come closer. Come closer.
Okay, so hello. My name is Nidia.
And I'm Perttu.
I'm Juha.
I'm Irma.
I'm Henry, and that's our team. And one more.
So this is our robot. It doesn't have a name still, but something with a fork. And we can just make it move. So basically what it does... Okay, so this doesn't work very good, but this is supposed it's just some technicalities. But the special thing here is that this is kind of a blender or stir or something. So every time you press, like the well, of course not perfect. Yeah, hold it, yeah. So it goes like that. And so if you have some liquid that is not completely like dissolved, you can dissolve it that way. So yeah, that's it.
Great, thank you. And group number 4.
Hi everyone, my name is Anne Pirkkalainen.
Hi, I'm Maija.
Hi, I'm Juri.
Hi, I'm Jonne.
Hi, I'm Chen.
Hi, I'm Jarkko. Well, yeah, this is our amazing robot. It's called Disco Robot from Hell, and its specialties do everything that it does at the moment. Yeah, it blinks and it tries to move. Actually, it's amphibious. If you put it to the water, then it starts moving. So.
Thank you. And group number 3.
Hi, my name is Felix.
I'm Tintti.
I'm Kaisa.
I'm Tina.
I'm Tiamo.
And I'm Martin.
They stole this guy idea, but you is. Hey, what's the name of it? Curly Disco Bot.
Okay, this is our amazing robot, the Carly Disco Bot. Wait, let's be quiet. And when nothing happens, Curly doesn't disco, but she knows when the party is on, so disco! And it starts having those epileptic lights and everything. Well, party!
Awesome. Thank you. And group number 2.
Okay, I'm Farbot.
I'm Mika.
I'm Mikko.
Irene.
I'm Yen.
Lari. And we have the commercial airliner for ants. Let me show you. Watch out, it's going to fly. Yes, it flies, really. Just a demo effect. It can reach the speed of sound.
If there's emergency, so
Yeah, we have the emergency light. So don't be afraid. Get on board.
And I think we have one more group. Group number 1.
Hi everyone, my name is Lisa.
My name is Zita.
I'm Henrik. I'm Anket.
I'm Evgeny.
I'm Lotta.
Pavel. So what you see here is a bunch of parts that are put together, and we figured that what we're going to do is we're going to sell our expertise and as a consulting service. So when you when you break your things, we have the parts to sell you so that you can put them back together again.
Great. Thank you. Okay, you can go back to your comfortable seats and let's continue with one more practice. I have to get my computer, just a moment. Because we are here in SomeJam and we are inventing new solutions to different kind of problems. Here's one exercise. It's quite minor problem, but the next step is for the groups. You have to invent a solution. It can be game, it can be mobile application, it can be anything technological solution to 2 small problems. How to solve the world hunger and how to make world peace. How to stop all the wars with some kind of technological solution. And remember, Hanna and everybody talked about the what the fuck effect. So be really creative, go beyond your imagination and do something really, really weird or really crazy. And you have 10 minutes time to come up with solution that solves these 2 problems. And after that, we come back here and each of the group will make a sales pitch. Try to sell the software or solution to each others. So you will have about 10 minutes time to come up with idea that solves this problem. And you can use papers, pens, if you want to have big paper and write your solution to that paper. So we have those over here somewhere. And you can start planning your awesome solution to these problems. Time starts now. Ja viedään flappeja, jos ne haluaa. Viedään niitä. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Three minutes. 3 minutes. 1 minute. Ten seconds time to write the last letters. 10 seconds. Five, four, three, two, one. Okay, time's up. Please come over here. Okay, where should we start? Let's start randomly from group number 3. Where is group number? Over there. The stage is yours.
So we decided to end all wars by implanting every government official with kitten cuddles and hugs implants, so that if they start thinking about, wars and stuff, we just make them be cuddled by kittens.
Instead of America go to war against Russia, actually, America just wants to go and hug and cuddle the kittens in Russia. No war.
And do you want to? Oh, okay. I can do the World Hunger one too. Yeah. For World Hunger, we have this portable 3D printer that makes food out of atoms, air. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just that simple.
Any questions? Yeah. You can solve all problems with kittens. Okay, thank you. And let's go to group number 4. 4.
Okay, we had the idea for the world hunger problem that we are going to make this humans grow and eat from earth, and it's called he plant or she plant. And we have these hats and jackets that take power and food from the sun and the air, and then we have these root shoes what you put on your feet and eat from the earth like plants. And
yeah, and also incorporated, so are these virtual glasses that when you're rooted, you can't move, so you want to do maybe something. So you have this virtual reality there. And because maybe in Finland, because long winter time, maybe you have to be in some kind of cave for the whole winter, then you might want to do there something, then you can use this also. And because people are rooted or either in drugs or in virtual reality, they don't want the fight anymore, and so the wars end also. So this is all in one package, one clothesline, and this is it.
Do you have the price for that already? I could buy one.
Yeah, I think it's something like 10,000 euros.
Ouch. Thank you.
Thank you.
And group number is the one. Eiko. What you were what number? 4. So 5.
Okay, so for hunger, we invented a robot called Bobot, who is the dictator ruler of the earth. And we are already now talking about the Internet of Things. So Bobot would be connected to us. So he would know everything about humans and everything about the resources that we have for the food. And he would be supplying all those things to where they are supposed to be.
Well, we thought this because we know that like about 1/3 of the food of every day is thrown away in the world. So it's more like about a matter of like distribution. So Bobot, sorry, he knows it perfectly. So he would be better. And that was also the slogan. Like it was like no, the other slogan. Something like he knows what's better for you or something. And in the same fashion, for word peace, we thought like Bobo can just change the definition of peace because that's a lot easier. And yeah.
Do you have anything to say?
Because Bobo, he can get into internet and every definition and everything, so he can just change the definition. That's easier to solve it. So, yeah.
Yeah, we had another idea that if that would be too hard, then we could just give Bobot like nuclear weapons. So whenever someone was like aggressing or like planning war, then Bobot could just say that, well, if you do that, then I will nuke everyone. So that's whichever is easier. So
quite interesting solution. Thank you. And now it's group number 1. Group number 1.
Okay, we have developed the fruitanizer for the problems to make the end of wars and get more food to hungry people. It's really simple. We have a spray, the fruitanizer spray, that you spray on weapons and they turn into fruits. And the sprays is sold in all kind of at kiosks and everywhere on the street, so it's easy to get. And you just, if someone attacks you with a knife, you spray it, and maybe it's then a banana suddenly, and you can take it and eat it. And yeah.
And we're developing the second version when there are martial arts or something like that getting towards you. They don't have a weapon, but something physical, so that is under construction.
Can you decide what fruit you are spraying, or is it always apples or bananas?
Maybe it comes from your mind, what you prepare on that time. Exactly.
Thank you. And group number 2.
So we decided to infiltrate all weapons and arms companies and change metal to chocolate. So the rich countries infiltrating poor countries would drive the chocolate to poor countries, and hunger and wars would end instantly.
There was also some wordplay, like defeat the enemy. We were changing it to feed the enemy.
Thank you. That was quite easy. We have solved 2 small problems, world hunger and stopped all the world wars. Okay, one more thing, a few more things before we start the jamming. Now it's actual time in those groups. You have 15 minutes in those groups, and now you can make one sales pitch together with your group. What will you do during this weekend? What is the solution? What is the problem that you are working with in this weekend? How will you make the world better place for young people? What is the problem that you want to solve? And how do you want to solve it? Do you want to make some applications, web pages, games, and think about what is the biggest problem that you want to solve, and put it to the paper. You have 15 minutes time, and after that we will hear the pitches, and also before those pitches, each of you will have about 10 minutes time. If you have your own idea, what do you want to do during this weekend? What is your idea? How do you want to help young people? Or what is your solution? So you can also make a pitch by yourself. So first in the groups, you have 15 minutes time to make an idea. And then after that, you will have about 10 minutes to individually think about your ideas, and if you have some idea, write it to the paper, and after that we will hear the group pitching and also the individuals. If you don't have any idea, if you don't know what you want to solve, what is the problem, what is the thing that you want to do during this weekend, you don't have to make any pitch, but at least every group has to make up some idea, and if you want, you can also individually do something. And main purpose is that how to make the world better place for young people, how to help young people in some problems. The problem can be anything or whatever you come. All the ideas are good if they involve somehow young people. So you can be really creative and think about new ways to do something. So you can go back to your sofas or chairs, and please take one big paper if you don't have, and write your idea to the paper, and 15 minutes time, and then you have 10 minutes individually time to make up your own ideas. Let's start. pöydälle laittaa. Joo. Siinä on se herkkyysvipu, katsoit sä, että se ei ole päätetty ihan nollille. Tämä on melkein parempi tää kasvis näistä kuin toi.
Ai jaa, mä en muista. Se oli tosi hyvä. Se chicken oli tosi hyvä. Mä en nyt syönyt.
Mä loppuun vuohenjuustoa.
Ai jaa.
Onko joku likainen kontakti tai? Meneekö se, jos ottaa napin välistä pois, niin sitten se lamppu laisi? Joo, nappi. Netissä on ihan mielettömiä juttuja, mitä jengiä näistä on tehnyt. Niin kuin mitä uskomattomia. Kyllä toi työpajaboksi oli.
Tälle tonni.
Joo. Me tilattiin VLAn sakerukseen ja ne oli oikein joku 60 kappale se paketti. Siinä tuli jotain muutakin sitten mukana. Oltiin yhdessä tapahtumassa, tehtiin Pasin kanssa myös semmoinen aina, että kun joku sen tapahtuman twiittasi sen tapahtuman hashtagillä, niin sitten plingahti ja nuoli siirtyi siihen. Ja, tai sitten jos Instaan laittoi. Ja noilla oli tullut nyt laskuri, niin pystyisi tekemään laskurikin siitä. Että
Sitä mä oon aina miettinyt pitkään.
Joo.
Siis Facebook ja Twitter seuraa.
Toi pystyy, netissä pystyy antaa tolle niinku, mä en tiedä onko se kehittynyt, mutta tällä hetkellä oli, että pystyy antaa niinku komennon ykkösestä tai 0–100 joku numeroarvo. Joo.
Mut siinä näissä on kyllä se hirveän vaikeaa saada ihmiset keksimään se, mikä se on se mielekäs juttu, mitä sä teet.
Joo.
Sen takia se pitää olla se ongelma.
Joka lähti niinpä.
Perustuntuu, että on toi helppo tehdä toi lentokoneen näköinen. Ei multa oikein tuu muuta. Se on voileivän voitelukone. Se tekee just. Joo, tuo. Tuleeko se siihen veden päälle? Tää jäi ehdottomasti olla yläkerras jossain vaan pöydällä nää esille ja sais tehdä.
Five minutes. 5 minutes. Se mikä tuossa on huono vähän tuossa suunnittelussa, toi levy, niin se on aika hankala välillä saada ne siihen kiinni. Että se, Three minutes. 2 minutes. One minute. Thirty seconds. Ten seconds. Mitä? Niin, tai nyt se varsinainen. Okay, and now it's time, if you have your own idea that you didn't get that idea to your group's paper, so you have now time to write your own idea to a paper. But if you are happy like that, if you are happy with your group's idea, you can still continue and develop it more. But now is the chance for individuals, if you want to pitch your own idea, and that idea wasn't mentioned in that big paper, so you can write your own idea now to a big paper. Joo, ei tunnista.
Yeah. Täällä suurin piirtein. Sulla on taiteellinen vapaus. Tuleeko se noin lähelle? Se pitää olla se rulla siellä ylhäällä. Tähän. Selkeästi. Hyvä. Kato, tuliko hyvä. Hyvä spani. Ootahan, kun mä tuot. Tuli itse asiassa, toi on hyvä. Thanks. Kyllä se tapasi kuvaa.
laitan sen tähän noin, niin jos mä laitan sen tuollaisen tää, sitten tää menee suoraan, niin se jatkaa suoraan tänne, ja sitten menee niinku tähän kanssa. No sitä mä kokeilen.
Okay, time's up. Please, folks, come over here and let's hear the presentations of your ideas. And remember, you don't have whole night time to present your idea. Try to be quick, simple, and tell the main things. You have around 2 minutes time to pitch your group's idea. And after we have heard all the group pitchings, then there is time to hear the individuals who have made some ideas. And after everybody has presented their idea, you can still change your mind. You can decide that you want to change a group if you find some idea that suits you better. But please come over here and let's start.
Kohta 20 000 askelta. Tälle päivälle. Joo, 9.
Voisin esittää kysymyksiä kanssa. Ne onkin hyvä varmasti.
I have one microphone.
Final preparations and then it's done. Please join us.
Jos voi aloittaa jollain, niin mä olen yhdessä.
Mulla on 3.
Sekaisin näistä sun systeemeistä.
Mäkin. Ne on jo varmaan 2 ja aloitan 4. Eiku, mitä se oli? 1 oli. Eiku tossa oli 1 ja aloitan 4.
Okay, let's start. And let's start with group number 4. Group number 4.
Do you want 2 or 1 microphone?
Hello. Okay, so our problem or question was that how to do voluntary work in Finland. It's not very easy, and you have to Google a lot and do a lot of research before you can go somewhere to do voluntary work. And in this case, the voluntary work would include children and young people. So you can tell about the app.
Yeah, so this is sort of more like a tool for helping the youngs, not so much for the youngs to use them by themselves. And yeah, I don't really know the specific details at this moment, but we'll start from this and we'll see where we'll end up. And we also had some other ideas if...
Well, I can tell. Other problem was that young people are lonely, and we had
few ideas, and we just want to tell them that maybe some other team could benefit from these. So that would be Tinder for friends, that instead of liking people's images, you like that if they have common interests. And then there's Meetup for teens, and Meetup is some sort of app which you can use to get to some event or which you like. And then there's kind of like that first idea, but groups to find other groups which have similar interests. And that was it.
Any questions?
Yeah, about the first one. Can you open up over there? So is it for the youngsters or the voluntary workers over there? What is the main, or both over there?
It's for both. They can sign up. Young people and children can find the person who is willing to do voluntary work, and then adult like him can sign up and tell there that he's willing to do some voluntary work with children and young people. Or maybe organizations can also take him, like for working in some organization that works with kids, like a night in youth center or something like that.
I think that could work really well at a local level. I live near to a school where my child attends first grade, and sometimes it would be just fun if I have a holiday or the afternoon off from my work. It would be just fun to know if I could be of assistance for the school.
Yeah. And this app could be anything, like if I wanted to go and help dogs and cats, I could do it from this.
Any more questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lasin, laitatko noi läpit tuohon? Ei vierekkäin niin, että siihen jää selkeä rakko. Okay, we can take the papers.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Do you have the second paper? Thanks. Okay, and group number 5.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, our idea is also a jam. It's called SomeJam. The name is in progress, but
yeah, we just randomly choose the name for a jam. So,
but it's for Finnish people, so I think it's appropriate. So the idea is to create a project where we create several different kind of jams, both in virtual world and in physical world. And these jams help the youth to connect with the work and all kinds of employers. And the themes of these jams could be involved around social media or traditional media, gaming, or any kind of technology. The jams would be working in the digital world all the time, and they would create networks where the youth and the employers could meet and give recommendations to each other.
Yeah, we thought about this idea also because, well, we think that many young people already have good expertise, or they are already very good in social media, for example, and they want to. I mean, they don't know how to communicate this to like some business or some enterprise that needs somebody who is really good in this. So it's like a really good way to like connect the youth with the employers, because sometimes maybe you don't know how to get to an enterprise or something. So.
And promote your own expertise,
yeah.
Stuff like that. And they would be in these jams, at least in the physical ones, working with the real problems that the companies have or the organizations have that are connected to these jams. And it would promote active participation for the youth in the work field, so that they would be easier to understand how to get jobs and how to promote yourself.
And maybe it's also like, well, we were talking about the benefits that actually the youth are getting, because we were thinking that if maybe the company do not hire them, so it's just like, oh, okay, thank you very much, goodbye. So we were thinking that maybe this could be implemented like in schools. Maybe you get credits, or it's some sort of work experience you can add to your CV, or it can also be like for recommendations, stuff like that. Yeah, but it's still in progress. Like, and we aim this for like young people, and we were talking about that.
Yeah.
Like the age for the people, maybe less than.
Well,
20.
the youth more than children. Yeah. Any questions?
Yes, I'm just trying to get it right over there. Is it so that the company has a problem and he put it somewhere, or asking about some place over there, and then the youth youngsters would come over there and say that I can help you, and then there's enough people over there, then they start jamming?
Yeah, basically
sort
so.
of this.
Does it really have to be limited to Finnish people?
No, well, I think like it was like FinJam or like Finland Jam, but I guess in English it would be like a good
awesome
thing, yeah.
And during this weekend, so your task would be what? Would you be building the platform, the online platform, or if you would develop that idea more?
I think it's the concept designing for the project and how to create everything so that it actually works.
Yeah, do your own FinJam instructions, for example, how to do it.
Yeah,
that would be nice to see.
Questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Vaikka tolppia voi hyödyntää. Älä laita ihan viereen, kun ihmisten pitää mennä sitten valitsemaan.
And group number 1.
So we don't have a paper. We are really sorry for it. And we have like this wide idea that the young people have the problem that they don't get the important information. They just ask a friend or mom and get some information that's not really correct or up to date. So we would like to find a way to present really important information to the young people and find some easy way for them to get access to those informations. And we were thinking like using QR code or ENFS. Yeah. Yeah, so that's our idea so far. It needs some brainstorming.
Yeah.
Could you give some kind of example of the persona who would use and how it would be using, like running in the street and finding the information, or how, explaining a little bit to me, understand what kind of person would be using that and make it like a real thing?
You don't have to do it now if you are like absolutely have not thought about it, but that could be something you could do next.
Yeah.
Think about who's going to be using and who's going to be producing the information. Could it be the crowd itself?
Yeah, I think like information should come more from the people who are working with the youth than from the crowd.
Okay.
So the information is really correct and up to date.
Yeah.
Questions? Okay, thank you. Could you make one paper just with the topic of the idea? Yeah. Okay, let's continue. Is it number 2?
Katsotakin hakee noita sitten lapun, ne tekee vaan yhden, missä on otsikko. Here we go.
Hi. We would like you to develop your real-world skills through gaming with Badger. So one of the problems that you are facing is that lots of time they are actually have this lack of motivation to study or complete their tasks during the school. So how we can give the children motivation? So we are going to do it by games. So the youth start playing games. At some point we are going to pause it and give them lessons and exercises to develop the tasks that they need in real world to find jobs. And if they could complete a task completely, then they can advance in the game. And also we give them a badge that they can share. And finally at the end, maybe we give them a certificate that say, for example, okay, right now it's just like Xbox, achievement unlocked. This boy just learned how to program loops, for loops, while loops. So yeah, the idea is just that. So
And the lack of motivation can be attached to many different kinds of skills. The interest can be gaming, but the interest could be just anything. So this idea would be an augmented version of completing small tasks, using the skills that you have, and then getting recognition, getting positive feedback, and the positive feedback comes in the form of a badge. So therefore it's called Badger.
Sounds good. Our online courses at the university could use a badger. Yeah.
Have you thought about that? Would it be just among with the friends or completely strangers? It's like a social network where you can see different kind of people doing same kind of. I have a lack of motivation making cleaning, so I can find my cleaning group over there, and together we are sharing this problem. Or have you thought about that?
We haven't specifically thought about that, but it's a good point. It needs to be thought about where to find these people, how to find these circles of people or groups of people who you can have discussions about similar problems. Vertaistuki.
When you have a group of non-motivated people, you could set a timer. We're gonna do it now.
Now we clean.
Yeah, social pressure.
Or electric shocks.
Yes.
Little bits.
Small. Great.
Questions? Anybody? Let's continue. Next group. Group number 3.
Here we go. Here we go.
Don't you want other microphone because you know more about this thing?
Okay, so our idea was about making a platform for a job seekers community with the intent to decrease fears while seeking a job. So, for example, current existing communities are like LinkedIn, but there's a lot of competition and it's mostly already established professionals who are there. And so this is about creating a space for people who are just leaving university or changing careers or so on. So the platform would provide information. There would be an area for peer support and networking. There would be a space for personal reflections and development. There would be the possibility to connect mentors or current people who are professional and interested in helping the youth connect with job seekers. And then there would be a physical aspect where there would be workshops, events, and physical networking. In a nutshell. Do you have anything else to
Hey, you have some room for serious innovation with the user interface, because all of the existing services are based on a CV. You have your details there, and you really tell small details about your education and so. But what if you could make that really different in some way? I don't have any answers for that.
Like a creative CV,
interactive CV, something.
I have already one user over there because someone just discussed about this, because she doesn't want to put all what he has done in that way. She wants to be what is motivated and about the feelings, telling about that. And I think the same situation would be when you are leaving the school and after that. So really interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and do we have somebody who made their own pitch, own ideas? You can tell those ideas now.
Okay, my problem is actually pretty practical. It's also about everyone who is in here to make you all cheer up and motivate up a little bit. So the problem is that there is no popcorn scoop in SomeJam 2015. And when you take popcorn now, you only get like few. But I have a solution. So the solution was to present this problem like this, so everyone would know about it. And then, did anyone do anything about it? Okay, apparently not. So now I have to ask for a popcorn scoop, and this problem actually expands to Tex-Mex too. So you also need a Tex-Mex scoop, and if this didn't happen, then I think I have to just find popcorn scoop and Tex-Mex scoop myself, and that fixes the problem. And I think this is like the first project that has been successfully succeeded, I hope.
Awesome.
I feel the pain.
So, my name is Liisa and I come from Oulu. It's 500 kilometers from here to up north. And I wanted to tell a little bit about the work that I'm doing right now and tell you what I wish for this weekend. And that Badger thing sounded really nice already, and all the other ideas too. We are making a whole new online service in Oulu for young people under 30 years old, and for the young people in the region of Oulu or moving to Oulu and somehow connected to Oulu. And I started this project work on August, and I have worked with young people since then, and we have a lot of ideas and information collected from them, what they need and want from this online service. And what I wish for this weekend is to find some solutions and ideas and perspectives on how to technically and otherwise fulfill those ideas and like that. I try to be as as quick as I can, as Markus and other Verke members know that I'm good at speaking, so this was it. Maybe I will find a great group for me in here to have these solutions.
Question.
Yes.
Do you have the ideas with you here? Do you have the people's ideas in some form?
In my head, but they are really quickly.
Post-its?
It's quickly written down. Yeah. It's really. And this information counseling service and work, it's about providing information of anything that under 30-year-old young person would need or want to know in that point of his or her life. So it's wide range. So I'm pretty excited about this weekend. Thanks.
Did somebody else have an idea? A pitching?
Here. My name's Pablo, and I'm just curious, how many people here use Android phone? This is kind of a good sign. Gartner just said that millennials use Android over iPhone the most, so that's a good sign. I got a small startup called Taganize, and what we do is we activate NFC chips and we generate QR codes. And what makes our service really interesting and neat is that you only need two pieces of information: a name of what you want to call your tag, or a destination, which can be a URL, it can be a phone number, it can be a text message, it can be a geolocation. And with those two pieces of information, you can then program them using Taganize onto an NFC chip or a QR code. So how would you use this? For example, let's say there was I'm speaking now hypothetically, there was a student subsidy that was going to be cut. And now as a student, you're not going to be able to rely on it anymore. You'd probably feel really upset and want your local government official to know how upset you are. Well, you could simply go to Taganize. You could create, if you found that person's email, a specific email, and start spamming them. Every time somebody in public goes out and touches this, they're going to get spammed. Or if you want to make a phone call, touch the tag, and now they're getting all these phone calls. So I was thinking that how would young people actually use our service to get the message across? It's open, it's free of charge, it doesn't cost you anything. So I was thinking that maybe there could be like a common website where things like this that are really important to students, we can put them together, and then Taganize can use them to get the message across. So I'm looking for anybody who knows how to do some coding, who knows some good ideas, so that we can take this to the next level. Any questions?
That's clear.
Okay.
Thank you. Can you make one paper with just the headline so you can fit it to the wall?
Okay, any more?
Okay, this wasn't about youth, but maybe about kids. Okay, so maybe it's not the best time to pitch it, but I think it's a cool idea, so I should. So my idea is that around the world, like, people grow up so differently in so different environments, and it's very important, like, to have a world harmony, that you understand other people and others' condition. So my idea was to have a platform where people around the world can, like kids around the world, can teach their games to the kids in some other part of the world. So for example, there are kids from, like, let's say, Canada, and like really north part of Canada, which only play with ice, and they have all their games based upon ice. And there's somebody who is living in a desert and who hasn't seen ice. And like, now these two communities are very different. Like because when you're kids, you play outdoors, you do stuff, like you throw yourself in ice and do stuff like that, and still. So the idea is that you communicate to other people around the world, but like you kind of teach. So this is a platform which enables you to like give a course on your basic life or games as a kid to somebody else. And yeah, that's basically it. just to understand what the other person in the other corner of the world is doing. As a kid.
I like the idea. It's very well thought.
Any questions? Sorry, I forgot to ask.
Can you pass on those kind of that having this kind of communication going? I'm sending you some ideas and you're coming back over there, or is it?
Yeah, actually, like that's a very good point. The motivation for this idea came from. So I was in Germany for 1 year, and there was an experimental school, and in that school, what they did was they used to send a batch of students to Sweden for 1 month, and it was kind of a exchange for like 10-year-old kids. So let's say a whole batch, like 6th graders, will go from Sweden to Germany and from Germany to Sweden, and they will kind of live in their houses and they will live in their houses. So it was a exchange of kids for quite a long time. Like a month is quite a long time, and then they will live in their condition. But how about like expanding on it in a more bigger world, like so that you don't just maybe because of the extreme conditions, it's not possible to have such kind of exchange, but we can have it at some meta level, like where maybe you don't physically go there. Maybe it's not the best option right now. For that, you need a very strong platform which enables, which kind of ensures security and so on and so issues. But we can have a start. Yeah.
Thank you. What is the name of your idea?
Let's call it Share the Game.
Okay, can you write it on the paper?
Yeah.
We'll put it on the wall. Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Now it's time to choose the idea that you want to work with for the whole weekend. You can choose the idea that you were working with, that was your group's idea, or you can change the group. If you think that one of the neighbor group's idea were better or it suits you more, you can change the group. And we have Badger over there. Here we have the Tinder for friends. And over there we have FinJam. Over here we have Job Seeker and voluntary work app. And behind the popcorn machine we have the information and counseling services. And takaisin. And your paper. And the last two ideas, they are Pasi's just putting the papers up. So now you have time to see the ideas again and go and stand next to the idea that you want to work for the whole weekend. You can choose your own idea or somebody else's idea. And remember, you can change the idea. You don't have to go exactly on the rules that those who pitched the idea said. You can make some small changes to that idea. Has everybody decided what's your task for the weekend? Not yet.
Osaatko sanoa? Miten mä saataisiin nää?
Hands up who doesn't have any clue to what group you would like to join. Who doesn't have any clue? Hands up. Okay, few of you doesn't have any clue where you want to go. Those who know what you want to do, please go to that paper, close to that paper.
Asiat rakentaa lisää. Mulla jäi kesken.
Toi Shirley Game, mikä oli se viimeinen. Siinä on periaatteessa...
Se oli hyvä
paljon niinku rytmiä. Jos sulla on vaikka tyyli, että jos sä oot vaikka semmonen, että sä haluaisit vähän jotain musiikista tietää, että millä sä tavallaan voit löytää jonkun semmoisen, joka voi niinku vaikka kertoa sulle, että miten niinku...
Siinä ei ole sitä omistajaa, joka on
Ei. Tuohon olisi kyllä ihan kiva saada siihen viimeiseen.
Se tekee. Se omistaja.
Miten me saadaan, täällä on siis paljon ihmisiä, jotka nyt vähän niinku kiikontaa, miten me saataisiin nyt menee johon?
Pitääkö meillä se...
aikaa vähän vielä.
Joo. Tuossa on muutamat, jotka tietää ihan selvästi. Sitten muutama on semmosia, että mä haluaisin mennä tohon, mutta siinä ei ole vielä ketään, niin mä menen. Ja sitten muutamat muut käyttää, että mä menisin tohon, mutta siinä ei ole vielä ketään. Jos mä olisin, niin mä menisin tohon Thatcheriin.
Onko se pätkäs tuolla? Siellä on
noin vähän saa.
Montako siellä on kaksi?
Siellä oli. Olihan siellä. Ihan ja kahvi. Se oli siis valmistettu. Ei kyllä ole.
Mä oon vaikka väsynyt.
Itse asiassa seuraavana.
Itse asiassa
Se on hyvä olla kiinnostunut kulttuurista, mutta kyllä se aina niin itsestä kiinni.
Niin, mutta siis ei siltä vaikea aloittaa.
Tuolla on supermarjo. Tuossa on Mario ja FIFA.
FIFA mä haluaisin opetella. Siis Super Mario mä oon pelannut joskus silloin lapsena.
Tuossa on siis Mario Kartti. Pitäis tänään viikonloppuna päästä kokeilemaan sitä. Ja sitten voi mennä FIFA. Sitä musassa käynyt. Ruoholahdessa. Sieltä hankitaan, niin se on varmaan ainoa paikka, jossa pääsee kokeilemaan Suomea.
se oli hauska, että se oli järjestettiin tyttöjen iltamissa. Niin ensimmäiset ehdotukset oli valkoinen tilan värikkäämmäksi. Voisiko siinä olla jotain muutakin? Voitaisko me tehdä eläinhahmoja tai voitaisiko me tehdä jotain muuta? Siellä oli siis laitista laitaan, pelaaja tykkää lähinnä.
Niin, itse niiden pelaajia.
Joo. Ne siis itse ja sitten just se, että kaikki pelit on sieltä kunnista Animal Crossingia ja Pokemonia ja kaikkea muuta, missä on värikkäitä. Joo, ja Tekkenit ja Lolit ja kaikki, niin kyllä.
Kiva on sillä karupeli. Et siis veisin, että mä voin ottaa niitä viisanaksi. Mut sit se skill-leveli tulee siitä, että mä oon pelannut Pessistä asti, niin Pro 2000-luvun alusta. 2009 niin FIFA meni Pessi ohi. Konami